Hi all you budding gardeners out there. I'm Michelle, the farmer with Pillsbury United Communities, and during this pandemic, I'm going to show you how to start seeds inside your own household using items that you can find pretty much anywhere. First things first, what soil should you use? It's best to use potting soil or seed starting mix that you can find at any of the large box stores like Target, Home Depot, Menards, Lowe's, whatever's around you. And if you don't feel like braving the outdoor world right now, you can order online. Items that I found in my home today that I'll be using as pots for the seedlings, as a toilet paper roll, and an egg carton. I'll also be showing you how to transform a box into a light box so you can place your egg carton or your little toilet paper roll things to move a bunch of seedlings at once. So first, when we're using an egg carton, you'll be cutting the top off. You can use a scissors or a box cutter to cut the top off, and you'll be setting the egg holders inside of the top. We do this to help contain the moisture and so that the egg carton doesn't leak everywhere. Now when we're using a toilet paper roll, I'm going to fold it into a square. Then I'm going to cut it in half. And when you have your half piece, I'm going to cut on the 4 squares. You want to make sure that your cuts are just about halfway down and that they're all the same length as much as possible. I'm going to fold my toilet paper cuts into a box pattern. And then I'm going to stick it in my light box that I'll show you how to make next. I'll be using a box that I found in our basement as a light box. So first I'll take a box cutter or scissors and I'm going to cut off the 4 flaps of the box so they don't get in my way later. And if I'm using window as my light source for these seedlings, I'm going to cut one side out of the box. Then I'll be taking tin foil and cutting it 2 sides, just like this, and taping it just at the top of the 3 sides of the box. This way I can place my toilet paper hold seed starting pots or my egg cartons into one space for easy movement, because eventually we're going to want to be moving these seedlings outside. So the next part is I'm going to get my soil to the right moisture content. You want to get your soil wet before you put it inside the pot, because once you put it in and then you try to water it, sometimes the soil overflows and makes a big mess. So just trust me on this. You're going to take any container. You can find a mixing bowl or a small bowl. I just have a giant plastic bin that I'll be using, and I'll be pouring water into my soil, mixing it around, and I'll know it's the right moisture content when the soil makes a ball, but water doesn't come dripping out when I squeeze it. The next step is to put wettened soil into the pot of your choice. So right now I'll be using my egg carton, and I'm going to fill the container to the top. You don't want to pat the soil down once you fill, because you want as much air space in the pot as possible for the roots to grow. After I've filled my egg carton with soil, I'm going to decide what seed to plant, and for me today I'll be planting kale. I'm going to read the back of the seed packet because it does contain some really important information on the depth of the seeds, when you should start them, what kind of conditions the plant likes, all those fun facts. So kale seeds are pretty small, so I'll be making just a small indent in top of each of my seed pots. I'll place the seed into this indent that I've created. Sometimes 1 or 2 seeds per is the best. If you get a couple more in there, that's all right too. And then I'm going to just lightly sprinkle soil on top of that. So after planting my seed and covering it with soil, I'm going to label the seed that I've started so I know what I'm planting as soon as it starts growing. I'm going to put the date and the type of seed that it is and any other useful information. So if you have a family of people that you're starting this with, putting your initials on there might be kind of fun to watch things grow. After I've completed all these steps, I'll be placing my seed greenhouse light box into the light source. And usually on the back of a seed packet, it'll tell you how many days you can expect before the seeds start sprouting, and that's called days to germination. Check your seeds daily. Make sure that they are watered. You don't want to overwater them where things are dripping with water, but you want to make sure that the soil stays moist. If you can, the best location for starting seeds is somewhere warm and sunny. Seeds like heat to germinate or to come alive, and once the seed already sprouts, they're going to need plenty of light. I hope this video was helpful for you and your family in planting in these times when we're all stuck inside, sheltering in place, and looking forward to getting outside and growing some of our own food. Tune into our next video where I show you how to take the vegetables that you purchase from the store or that you've received from the food shelf and turn them into plants that you can plant in your own backyard. Happy planting!